Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started with our sped department meeting. Thank all of you all for giving us some time to come here today for this meeting. So we're going to start, we have some due dates that are coming out. And of course, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to interject. Coach, I think Coach has already told everybody that we're working on rosters of all of our Act 833 students. I know myself and Ms. Clark, we haven't done it yet, so we'll do that today. Mr. Rhodes, Mr. Hudson.
Mr. Hudson and Ms. Graham only have a list of, they are the only two that have Act 833. So
who, Ms. Graham and who?
Mr. Hudson.
Mr. Hudson, oh, okay.
So when they give me the information, I can type it in and go ahead and send it to Graham and Ghost, so we need to do that.
Right, yeah, we probably need to do that today, because I think it was due. On paper, they said it was due on the 27th, but she's running behind, so we okay.
Well, she extended it to the 2nd.
Did she?
Oh, everything been extended to the 2nd. And speaking of binders, she came out on yesterday, and she looked through 3 folders, and I think we did a pretty good job on those folders. The only thing we had to give is some work samples and something that they have to give us. So as far as those 3 folders, if we use those as a guide, I think the rest of them will be A-okay.
Now, Coach, did she give a deadline of when they're going to come back or when they're going to expect to have them completed?
She didn't say. She said she'll get back with us, but I think she was just overwhelmed the way we had everything done. Ms. Graham did an excellent job on her 3 binders, so we're in pretty good shape. I think the seniors that are at 833, I think they're going to come back out.
Yeah, I think they're going to come back out by the end of April. Yes, by the end of April. They'll be back out for the season. So our main focus probably needs to be on those seniors getting all of their binders completed. Now, did they say if they were going to have binders for middle school Act 833?
We can request it. We can request those, and I think once we request them, I think she'll give them to you. How many do you all have on the middle school side?
I want to say about 8 or 10, but I have a correct count for you in probably an hour.
Okay, what I do is once you get that, I send her an email. Just go to the email and you'll work on that.
Good deal. Did I give you one of these? I gave you one of these.
Yeah.
Okay, I believe I gave you had one of these. It's the pink sheet, but I ran a copy, so it's coming out.
Oh, I have some.
Okay. Well, let's talk about transitions. And so, of course, we just talked about the projected class list, which is due as soon as possible.
April 2nd.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do today is give you a hard copy of the projected class list, and you just write it in. And sometime between now and April 2nd, Ms. Graham and myself will type in the information and we'll mail it to patient. So, matter of fact, let me pass this out. And what you need to do is look at your class data and fill out the information on it. Just fill out your information on it. And once you do that, this is the hard copy. And once you do that, you'll have to type it in and email it to the patient. Right.
And so, like Coach said, we'll work on this today so we can make sure we have it completed by Thursday. If you're looking at this sheet also, it talks about transitioning students, graduation from high school forms, and so, Coach, I assume you and Ms. Graham working on that?
Yeah, that's been done already.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we sent that
Scratch it off my list.
About 2 weeks ago. Matter of fact, I have the hard copies here.
Verification of transition and IEP meetings, any transition meeting that we may have. IEPs need to be held before May 8th. I don't think we have anything.
We don't have any because all our students are staying here or they're coming from middle school to high school, so we have to do a transition.
Or from elementary to middle, which is the natural transition.
Right. So we don't have to do any meetings on that.
Yes, you got to scratch through that. ESY, that's really primarily dealing with Mr. Bell and Ms. Hollingsworth as far as ESY. I spoke with him earlier, and they're working on finalizing all of that ESY stuff. Letters have gone out, and so they'll be holding their IEP meetings when we get back from when we get back from spring break. Mr. Bell said he'll be holding his ESY meetings for extended school year.
And they have to be done April 17th.
April 17th. Yeah, they start from now, and they have to be finished by April 17th. Lot 1, what they're doing, we have some kids who are considered mild. Do y'all have any miles on this side that y'all been servicing?
We have about 4 or 5 that I can think of right offhand. But they won't qualify.
They won't be that low?
Yeah, they won't be that low qualified for the Lot 1 status.
Gotcha.
They'll still be, most of them probably going to be up 60 for their 9th grade.
Well, we have, on the middle school side, we have 2 that are mild, that are low enough that we're going to be able to get them qualified for Lot 1. They have this new provision that they're coming up with where if you are mild, whereas before mild would fall into an inclusive setting. Now, if they're low enough, a mild could possibly fall into the mild moderate section. And so we'll have 2 kids. We're waiting now for the requirements to come so we can go ahead and get all those in. And we'll have those kids. They'll probably be in Mr. Bell. They're 7th graders, but it's going to be next to impossible to get them where we need them to be. They're just too low. And we've tried a whole bunch of different strategies. I think y'all work with them down here for some too.
Well, Ms. Graham and I was talking about one kid yesterday, and we want to try. You all have been trying, and we're going to try to get that kid moved also because he's real low. And we were discussing some things with him yesterday because he was taking a test. He was doing an assignment, and he is mild, but we might need to try to move him also.
Now I'm gonna tell you, y'all do have one that we missed that I know will probably qualify. I know y'all have one. Matter of fact, probably just walk.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, man.
That's what we were discussing on yesterday.
Yeah.
And so that was one that slid through the cracks on us last year, and bless his heart. You know, he really just doesn't have the functionality or the ability to. I mean, not that he doesn't want to do it. He just can't really keep up with the regular curriculum.
When we tried it last year, the paperwork just didn't get through.
I noticed it when I worked with him in the 8th grade.
Right.
In science,
Right.
it just,
And I think a part of his lack of engagement, his lack of doing work is due to the fact that it's like Spanish.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not registering, you know.
Because like we had 2 problems. The teacher instructed me, asked me just, if he does 5, she said it was okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because we couldn't take it any further because he gets frustrated, first of all. He gets frustrated real quick.
Real quick.
Yeah, when he can't do it, it's not a good place.
Gotcha. Very true. And so we're going to, whatever y'all need us to do from this end to help with that process, since we kind of tried to start it last year but couldn't get it completed. If there's anything y'all need us to help with on that end, certainly we'll help. If we need to do some testing or whatever, we'll be able to help with that. Under Law 1 as well, and some of this stuff, of course, is pertaining to Mr. Bell and his crew, but I'm just going to address it just so we'll be in the know. For Law 1, they are creating this certificate of achievement where it would mirror our high school diploma. It would have the same look as our high school diploma, but of course, it would not count as the same as a high school diploma. In other words, they wouldn't be able to attend college or do trade school, things of that nature with just that certificate. And so, even if we have parents that we're dealing with that may be inquiring about trying to get their kids' placement changed, that's one thing we got to make sure that we let them know, that if they change their placement to something where it's a certificate of achievement, that they won't be able to actually get that certificate of achievement. I mean, they can get the certificate of achievement, but it's going to leave them in a bind where they really won't be able to do much with it. And so, unless a kid really needs to go down that road, we want to try to keep them from going down that road. I attended a Act 833 meeting sponsored by Families Helping Families the other Saturday ago, and they're also working on some things to try to make provisions to where our Law 1 and Law 2 kids may have an opportunity to actually earn Carnegie units and to possibly be able to still obtain a diploma even though they're in that placement. And so it's some different parameters that's going to be entailed in that. Next item, IEPs. We just turned in our new data sheets, so we need to check our data sheets and make sure any IEPs that are due in April, we go ahead and start opening them up and start working on them so we won't have any more out of timeline IEPs. I think we may have had 3 or 4 this year, and that's probably the most we've ever had. I know since I've been working in SPED, and it was partially due to a shift in staff. We had people coming in, coming out, and then some of it was just straight oversight. And so, check your data sheets. Any IEPs due in April or May, let's go ahead and get them open at least and start working on it. Once we open them, then we in good shape. I was just telling them about April IEPs, getting those open and start working on those April and May IEPs.
And all IEPs that due October 5th back needs to be done by May 8th.
And actually they extended it to the 10th, until the 10th.
So you need to look at all, it's not counting the rollback date. It's looking at the original date. If it's a rollback date, if it's a rollback date, the original date is October the 26th. The rollback date is September 26th. Don't worry about it. Yeah. But if the original date is before October 15th and beyond, then you have to do it. So I think Ms. Graham has 5. I think I have maybe 2. We need to get those done by May 8th.
Because what it is, when the school year starts, they don't want anybody to have to do IEPs in August or September. They want those taken care of. Our first actual annual IEPs will start in October. Talk about our time. When we're doing our IEPs, there's a template, and I need to get that template to some of our people who may be new to doing IEP. There's a template that kind of outlines what goes in IEP, what doesn't go in IEP, how goals are supposed to be structured, how they're supposed to look, are they measurable, what's supposed to be entailed in them. That would help me and Coach out a whole lot if we make sure that before y'all give them to us to make official, that you go back through them and proofread them, do spell check your verbiage, make sure you don't have any information from somebody else's IEP inserted. I mean, because when we're checking, we're just scanning. And it might be something that we miss in a quick scan because we're depending on you